A wardrobe full of clothes, yet not a single one to wear out. She has a handsome and noble duke for a brother, who never pays her any attention. But today, she has been reborn. To marry the monstrous husband from her previous life, she decided to win over her half-brother. Shulia arrived at her brother's study, only to find him frowning at the sight of her, scolding her for dressing this way as a duchess. Shulia felt a bit wronged, not understanding why her brother would say such a thing. He gave her the name of a member of the Leidenheim family, but not the status of a master. Including her previous life, this was the first time she had visited her brother's study. Her brother, seeing her silence, grew a bit angry, and sternly called her name. Shulia wanted to retort, but instead of accusing him of being careless, she decided to arouse his sympathy. Life's disappointments require acting skills. The girl began to lament her tragic background, and the morning's incident when she was scolded by a maid. After all, she has a maid for a mother. It's normal not to be respected by servants. Her brother listened silently to her complaints, growing more and more guilty, even breaking into a cold sweat. "You never came to me." "Of course, I think you didn't come to me, not because you forgot me or are careless, but because you want me to become a duchess who stands alone." Shulia looked at her brother with sparkling eyes, as if saying, "Brother, praise me quickly." But her frosty and prickly words made her brother feel guilty. He realized he wasn't a good brother, too busy with work over the years, indeed neglecting his sister's care. Shulia kept up her act, although my low birth is a fact, but before she could finish, her brother loudly stopped Shulia, telling her that servants who don't know respect can be dealt with at will. A Leidenheim family's duchess must not be insulted. Shulia found that playing the victim was quite effective with her brother. Oh, how cute her brother was. But then she heard her brother ask if she had found a dance partner yet. Shulia was startled, not expecting her brother to remember this. She wanted to invite Kater, but at this time, they did not know each other. If she rashly invited Kater, she would surely be thrown out as a monster. Better take it slow, don't scare Kater away. The road to winning a husband is long, but if she could invite her brother as her dance partner, she could shake off the label of an illegitimate duchess. Shulia, wringing her little hands, hesitantly asked her brother, "Can you be my dance partner?" She thought her brother would refuse, as he was usually busy with official matters, but to her surprise, after some contemplation, he agreed, saying that as her elder brother, he should accompany her to her first social dance, not to consider the price when selecting a gown, but to wear the most high-class one. Shulia broke into a cold sweat. When did her aloof brother ever use the title of elder brother? After she left the room, her brother thought about how his sister seemed different today. Previously, she had always been timid, head down, not speaking. Now she was standing tall, speaking with confidence. His sister looked really good this way. Shulia returned to her room and called the maids, telling them to go to the capital's tailor shop, to find her the most beautiful gown, because this time, she needed to prepare meticulously. Even though she had not yet met Karldi, she knew he would attend this dance. This time she decided not to be the timid illegitimate daughter, but to be Karldi's support in times of pain, to become a person helpful to Karldi. Shulia sent the servants away, and instructed them that she needed a very extraordinary evening gown. Before her marriage, Shulia decided that she would no longer be timid this time. She wants to win back her pitiful and lonely husband, and meet Karldi for the first time in her past life, which was during her first attendance at this social dance. At that time, she was attracted by his handsome and melancholy face, but she didn't dare to speak to Karldi. However, now she has changed. Determined to actively approach Karldi, she wants to carefully prepare for this dance, presenting the most perfect self to Karldi. The dresses brought back by the maids from outside were selected by her one by one. Even the dresses from the most famous tailoring shops were all eliminated by her. Some maids even whispered whether she understood these clothes. After all, these were made by the most famous tailors. Soon, after trying on dozens of dresses, she didn't find any to her liking. The maids were all tired out. She sighed. So many days, and not a single person found a suitable dress. But she had no choice, as she was a person who distinguished between rewards and punishments. Hearing her say this, the maids were quite alarmed. Would the lady dismiss them? What they didn't expect was, the lady opened her purse, summoned them to her side as a reward, and gave each of them 3 gold coins. The maids dared not take them. They had not found a suitable dress for the lady, and she still wanted to reward them? Shulia said they had put in hard work if not merit. But the truth was, she had been a duchess for 10 years in her previous life, and she knew all the tailoring shops clearly. Even though she didn't find the right dress, at least she could see that the maids did not perfunctorily treat her. The maids were very moved by her actions. She told them she would soon leave the Duke's mansion. It was not to buy their loyalty, but to treat others as she would like to be treated, hoping they would no longer discuss her background behind her back. At this time, a new maid gathered courage and came to her, calling her lady. She took out a fabric sample from a shop called Stila, not a very famous shop. But the boss had good skills, and asked the lady to take a look. Shelia looked at this piece of fabric. The pattern on it was embroidered with daffodils, reminding her of Caldi and of the 10 miles of daffodils. She solemnly announced to everyone her dance dress would be from this shop. Shelia was very satisfied with this maid, promoting her to be her personal maid, and handed over the entire evening dress affair to her. What to do? She missed Caldi so much. A piece of fabric could make her feel dreamy. In fact, she had chosen Stila clothing store long ago. For in her previous life, 6 months later, she set off a fashion trend with delicate lace and daffodil embroidery. If it came to dressing, for her who returned from the future to the present, it was simply a downgrade. However, what she didn't expect, her words and deeds today, all reached her brother's ears. Her brother didn't understand why. His sister said she was about to leave the Duke's mansion. He felt that his sister seemed to have grown up. But why did he feel a bit sad inside? Little sister wants to get married, but big brother is jealous, considering you as the closest person. Yet your heart is thinking about another man. Heard that little sister, after the dance, wants to stay in the capital for matchmaking. Big brother's heart is sour. Just a few days ago, they claimed to be each other's only family. But now she's about to abandon him for her own happiness. After a bumpy journey, they finally reach the capital. Shelia stretches happily, thinking of meeting the 23-year-old Caldi. Her heart is pounding non-stop. But when she turns to look at her brother, she finds something strange. What's wrong with big brother? Does he have something to say to her? But big brother arrogantly turns his head, saying nothing. Has she discovered something remarkable? Is big brother throwing a tantrum with her? Yelning feels uneasy under his sister's gaze, pretentiously adjusting his tie to hide his embarrassment. I heard you're leaving the Duke's house, Shelia says with a beaming smile. She can't stay in the Duke's house forever. She has to get married eventually. Big brother suddenly becomes serious. If I had known you were going to get married so soon, I should have treated you better earlier. Shelia seems to understand why big brother is acting strangely. Is it because he's unwilling to see her leave home? You can start treating me well from now on, Yelning says affectionately, okay. The servants behind are stunned. Wasn't it said that the Duke was very cold to his sister? Even at home, he doesn't greet her. Soon it's the day of the dance. Shelia wears a white lace daffodil dress, beautiful as a little fairy. Big brother has never seen his sister so pretty. He is astonished and speechless, but he still compliments her like a gentleman. Shelia is overjoyed. In her previous life, her brother never did this, being a strict and aloof duke. But now she finds that this brother also loves to smile, trying to be a good brother and sibling. She feels life changing little by little. So she believes that her tragic fate with Caldi will be different this time. Today she can finally meet Caldi. She wonders where he is now. Shelia, led by her brother, enters the dance entrance. The usher excitedly announces their arrival. Southern leader, Duke Lydenham and his sister have arrived. The Southern leader, who has never attended a dance, appears here for the first time, accompanied by his unfavored sister. Everyone in the room looks at them with reverence. It's an honor to see Duke Hyam. Of course, some people are whispering. Didn't expect the Duke to actually accompany his sister. Wasn't it said that the Duke didn't care about his sister at all? Those in the know turn their eyes to Shelia's dress. This material, this color is truly unique. Elegant but not coquettish, clearly very expensive. It's obvious how much the Duke dotes on his sister. However, Shelia at this moment has no time for such idle talk, looking left and right for Caldi's figure. Suddenly a voice calls out to her. A woman cautiously greets her. It's the Southern Lord's wife, Lady Tesnan. Shalia smiles and returns the greeting. Lady Tesnan is touched. Noble ladies find her approachable. Many gather to chat with her. Shalia confidently deals with them all. This is completely different from her situation in her previous life. The once timid and reticent girl has become the social flower.